Chapter 21. Knowledge. Where do you think that thought came from? Min asked. My spontaneous answer would be that it came from the process of reasoning based on probability, I replied. Yes, your brain always tries to rationalize. But information or knowledge cannot be received by any means other than perception. There are many ways to perceive. Generally, we perceive through our 5 senses, namely, the ability to see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. But all these 5 senses are constrained by time and location. This means that if you did not see it, taste it, touch it, or smell it at a specific place and a specific time, you will not gain that knowledge, Min said. Nevertheless, there is another receiving channel that is limitless, and that is the mind. There are 3 other channels to receive information. Firstly, the information that is sent to you specifically, similar to what you have experienced just now. Secondly, you can independently search for the information by stating to the universe your desire to look for this information. This also depends on your ability to transmit this desire and intention. The further you can send it, the more profound the information will be when it is obtained. Once it is found, it can be retrieved immediately, independent of the conditions of quantity and time, he explained further. You are saying that all the knowledge out there is accessible and can be retrieved through the mind? I asked. Yes, he answered. Many people on your planet who were important and famous in various fields, like scientists, alternative medicine doctors who treat their patients with herbs, inventors, artists, and poets, to name a few, have all used this channel. All of them have sent out many different forms of desires to the universe. They sought answers that they had yet to discover, new melodies, new expressions of arts, and new innovations. When these desires were sent out, how far they went then depended on the power of each individual. If a person is very determined and constantly contemplates to find solutions, their desires would go further. Once the solution is found or connects with its target, it will immediately be retrieved. All of this is the process of the mind in its search and quest for knowledge, Min explained. What about an ordinary person like me? Will I have the opportunity to use this process to acquire knowledge? I asked. Of course, everyone on the planet has this ability, but most people tend to build a wall to block them from achieving their objectives, Min replied. What does this wall look like? I asked. The wall doesn't really exist because each person creates it himself. So, it's the wall that can never be overcome, unless, he stopped talking. It's destroyed, I added jokingly. Exactly, Min replied. Oh, but I was only joking, I said. This wall, whether small or large, high or low, can't be overcome unless it's destroyed. This wall is called fear. And when this fear is combined with a person's negative thoughts, it is transformed into a belief that influences one to say, "It's impossible," "It's too hard," or "I'll never be able to do it," or even, "There are those who are better than me and yet even they are not able to do it." The excuses that these people create, and the towering walls that they build, limit their desires and provide a convenient option for them to either change their mind or make another choice, Min explained. There are very few people who can transform fear into love, he added, almost as an afterthought. What does it mean, love? I asked. Actually, it's better to call it fearlessness or courage, Min replied. When translated verbally, It's the inner voice that will say, "It's challenging and exciting. And I have to be the first person who does it," for instance. The moment when a person articulates those sentences, he or she would have destroyed the wall. Mean went on explaining, 99% of the people on your planet, when faced with such wall, will turn to find a more feasible alternative. It's an effort to overcome fear with another fear. I'll tell you another secret. No one can acquire spiritual knowledge while in fear. The person who is able to retrieve knowledge needs to be someone in a state full of joy and love, free of any anxiety. That's the reason why very few people on your planet could activate this process. That's not all. There is still the third way to acquire knowledge through the mind, he added. The specific access to knowledge at its source of origin is the third channel where the knowledge is sent directly to the person. This case is very rare because the person has to be the chosen one as well. Simply put, the three channels can be likened to using a telephone in your world, Mean stated. First, someone calls you and provides you with related information. Second, you call someone and ask for certain details. And third, you are making a call to the call center, and this center is also reaching out to you with the technical knowledge you need to accomplish your goal. That call center is the origin of all knowledge. The most authentic source of information is the most remote one, called the origin of all knowledge. People who have developed the skills to access this source of information are called gurus. In our society, we honor such people by calling them highly evolved spiritual beings. In your world, they are spiritual leaders, or prophets, as you call them, Mean went on. Everyone on my planet can retrieve knowledge, using the first and the second method. But very few can perform the third, he added. Well, I think I've accomplished my mission. This morning, I will ask you to clean your body and change clothes so that you won't feel alienated from us. And later today, you have to travel to another place, Mean announced. Where will we go? I asked, quite curious to see where this journey would take me. Don't worry. You will feel at ease when you arrive there, Mean tried to comfort me. After we had finished our breakfast, Mean took me to a stream near the house. We walked up the stream to find a good spot to jump in. The water is too shallow here, not very good for playing, he explained.